Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk a little bit about money. And I know we're out in the woods out here working on a fence, and it's kind of a fun place when you think about money has very little bit to do with all this. But then again, you can see we got trucks and four-wheelers, and we got wire and all kinds of crap to work with, and all this costs money. But once you get the stuff and you know how it works, you have a skill, and with this skill you're able to make things happen. And that's what's happening here. You see, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you ought to be able to see them. We've got some cattle running over here. This isn't our place here, but I say to fix the fence and get it going, they say, well, you can go on and use this and give us a big discount on how much it's going to cost to do it, to use this. I think, matter of fact, I think the first year didn't even cost nothing as long as we fixed the fence. So you're right back to the skills that do it. Now, the reason I'm even mentioning the money thing is I can see financial collapse is coming. I don't think there's any way we can stop it. There was a time, I don't know, what is it, $18 trillion? The U.S. is in debt now. And I think there's about 7 trillion is what people have saved. Can you believe that? You saved that much money? Well, what it is, it's in retirement funds. It's money that is supposed to be ours, but we don't get to see it. And we get it, I guess, when we get old. Now, I don't know. I don't get any of that stuff. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm a poor guy. So I don't have to deal with that stuff. But I hear that if you want your money when you get old, then you have to start paying taxes on it. And it's a system that doesn't work. But like I say, it's 7 trillion. And is what's in retirement funds and stuff like that. And I thought, just to let you know how silly I am, there was a time that I thought that what they were going to do is confiscate everybody's retirement. I know, that's silly. I mean, how could they just steal your money? You know, I mean, that's ridiculous. Kind of like Social Security. You know, there used to be a Social Security fund, and all the Social Security was put in this fund, and this fund is what was used to pay Social Security recipients. But then they ended up stealing it, and they took that money from the retirement fund, the Social Security fund, and started using it on other things. This is kind of a pattern for government. Government kind of does this kind of stuff pretty much all the time. So, in other words, you can't really trust them. Here, you gotta get all this. I got so much water down. Sweating, working too hard, way too hard. But there's the government has been known to take from the rich and give it to themselves. So, not quite give it to the poor. They haven't quite figured that much out. They think of themselves. And so then that's why their retirement funds are in a separate kind of fund. They've got their own retirement funds. I think they even have their own hospitalization. Government people, they got a different system. Their system is the system that will stay in place after the rest of us get screwed over. But this is what they're thinking. But I say, not only you're going to lose your $7 trillion, but I think those government people, they're going to be losing theirs also. And the reason I say that, it is so bad that even when the people lose their 7 trillion, they're going to get a little hostile, and things are going to get bad. And I'm not just making this up. This is something that happens in history, all through history, when nations take advantage of their people, or governments take advantage of their people, and they do that all the time. I mean, it's one government after another government. It always does that. And all these government leaders and all these government officials, they either die or they try to weasel themselves into society where people don't know them, and they try to say, well, we're one of you. So, but this is something we have to look forward to, is there's going to be a collapse in the economy. And like I said, I'm not sure how fast it's going to go. I would say the ones that I've experienced, Mexico, Venezuela, I didn't make it to the one in Brazil, but those and Vietnam, you could probably, it all happened within 30 days. I mean, that's a long one, was 30 days. Sometimes it could be done just within a couple, 2 or 3 days. I'm just not quite sure how. But don't worry, I'm not going to mention gold and silver. I'm not going to mention that. But like I say, you can take your stocks, your certificates showing that you own whatever it is you own, and it's even going to go for property too. Property, this is what we were talking the other night, and I mentioned in Guatemala, they've got a 500-year history. And what they've done is a lot of their property is in trusts. And so when they have their trust, they look at it as this is their worth, their wealth is in trust, and it can't be taken away from them, it can't be sued, and all this other kind of stuff. So that was the idea of doing that. And like I say, your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren, they won't be able to get all drunk and doped up and then sell it, give it away, or do whatever. That's why they put it in a trust. They don't even trust their own kinfolk. But the thing is, that trust thing is something that's been going on. China did it thousands of years ago. England's done it. I guess it'd be a few thousand years too. Any place that has limited land, they always put it in a trust, and they always eventually they're going to lose it. Matter of fact, Mexico, when the United States and Mexico, you know, I don't know if y'all ever heard about it, but there was we had war with Mexico at one time, the U.S., and there was property that was in California that was in trust and belonged to somebody, and then they lost it all. So people try all kinds of things to guarantee their wealth. If it's not in a retirement fund, like I say, it's properties, even gold and silver, they do that to even think they're going to guarantee their future in that. And that doesn't always work either. I mean, that's just, I say, I've got some that's buried, but like I say, you know, it's not going to be passed down and down and down too far, but somebody's going to forget where it was. So there's always going to be something that's going to hang up on people's wealth. And so you need to be watching over it and see what you're going to be doing and start making plans. Like I say, now, if it doesn't happen with Obama, it'll probably be happening with Trump or Hillary. I mean, if she's not in jail, I'm sure she's going to be able to steal as much of it as she can too. So, I mean, that's just the way the system is set up. They're going to be taking it, whatever you have. So that's why I suggest you get it kind of scattered out and see what you can do, because it is your future. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.